Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulil kareem. So moving on, we discussed these yesterday, and now we want to finish off by discussing Mu'arraf Billam and Nakira today, inshallah. So before we go into types of Ma'rifa, a quick recap. You have Ma'rifa, Nakira. Ma'rifa is going to be what? Dhamir, Ism al-Alam, Ism al-Ishara, Mawsul, Mudhaf. You done those yesterday. And then you have Mu'arraf Billam and Nakira. Discuss those today, inshallah. Look at these examples. What does it say on the board? The elephant at East Midlands Safari Park. When I say the here, this is the. What is this the? What do you understand from the elephant?
Minimum how many parts do you have to?
What do you understand from the elephant? Do you know about this elephant? But when I say the elephant, does it the speaker not imply that we know about it?
We have to have a file. What is the file?
Because which elephant? The elephant at East Midlands Safari Park. Something that's known to the speaker and known to the person I'm talking to. Okay? If, for example, you never knew there's an elephant at East Midlands Safari Park, what I would have to say, there is an elephant at East Midlands Safari Park. Do you understand? When I say the elephant at East Midlands Safari Park, we know about it. Yeah? Because I can't say the. I would say, the shop is closed. Which shop? You can only use the in this context when both the speaker and the listener know about what's being talked about or what is being spoken about.
And we have the zad.
Do you understand?
What is maf'ul?
So in here you have to know what is being spoken about.
The object.
I would say this, elephants are an endangered species. Am I talking about a particular elephant or just a general context? General context. I would say elephants are huge creatures. I'm talking about a general concept, but I'm talking about every single elephant.
Is the file.
Encompassing, is there anyone that's not huge? Even the babies are huge.
Is the maf'ul.
Do you understand? So,
Him the action is carried out.
if you look at it here,
How do you know he
in English you have the here, in these we don't have. In Arabic we have alif lam for all of them.
mansub?
And these have different names. If you know what you're talking about, the speaker knows what you're talking about, and also the addressee, they know what we're talking about. This the is called ahad. And ahida ya'hadu literally means to be familiar with. Okay? This is called jins. When you talk about a general concept, that alif lam is for jins. And when you're talking about everything, you call it istighraaq. Okay? So let me give you some Arabic examples. Arsalna ila fir'auna rasulan. I think we use the example for years now. So Allah mentioned Nakira. We sent what? A messenger to Fir'aun. Correct? فَأَصَى فِرْعَوْنُ الرَّسُولِ. Then Fir'aun disobeyed or refused that prophet or the prophet. So look, it's known, it's mentioned before, you know about it. So when we say فَأَرْسَلْنَا إِلَىٰ فِرْعَوْنَ رَسُولًا, automatically we know now, okay, we have a mention of a prophet has taken place. And when we say Ar-Rasul again, we know it's automatically referring to the first Ar-Rasul that was mentioned. Something doesn't have to be mentioned. You automatically understand. فَمَنْ حَجَّ الْبَيْتِ, which house? Whoever does Hajj of the Bayt, which house? Which Bayt are we talking about? The Kaaba, Baytullah. So even though Al-Bayt was not mentioned before, we understand from context that, you get what I'm saying, which one we're talking about. Do you understand? This is called Alif Lam Al-Ahad. The Alif Lam, Al-Mu'arraf Billam, with the Ahad, meaning we know about it because it's mentioned before, or we know about it because it's common knowledge to everybody.
This is the table.
Do you understand? Make sense? What about jins? General concept. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. We have made every living thing from water. Meaning water, generally. It's not referring to a glass of water, a cup of water. Meaning every living thing has water inside of it, according to different tafasir. So this ma is what? A general concept. What's this called? Alif Lam? Jins. And istighraq, when you include everything. For example, innal insana lafi khusr. Every single person is in khusr, loss. Except who? Alladhina amanu wa amilu salihat. So this alif lam is for what? Called istighraq. To do what? Encompass and include every single insan. Go ahead, what's the question? Now, alhamdulillah, some say for istighraq. All praises. That's why we say all, those who translate as all praises. Why are they saying all? Because they saying alif lam is for istighraq. So alhamdulillah, all praises are for Allah. Okay? But some have other opinions regarding, but that's one interpretation of it. For example, man. A man means every single one of them. You understand?
This is the object.
Make sense?
What is the object?
And sometimes you all, it doesn't have to be totally, absolute.
And when you translate,
If I said I've read all the books,
translating in Arabic,
I don't mean every single book in the world, do I? Because obviously it doesn't make sense. What would I probably mean? The books in the library. I haven't, but I'm saying, for example. But I've read all the books in the library. I've read all the books. I would mean what? In a particular context. So sometimes you can have the istighraaq, not every single thing in the world, but a particular area, particular locality, particular context. So when this alif lam is for jins, Sahara is a plural of sahir.
fa'il comes first.
So the magicians came to Fir'aun.
Then the fail.
All of the magicians, this is for alif jins, istighraq, sorry. So all of the magicians, but not in the whole world, all of the magicians in that area. This is called istighraq as well, but istighraq urfi, meaning of a particular locality, area, situation. Yeah? Make sense? The sorcerers, I mean all of them. Okay? So alif lam come before ahad. That's the most common one, where you know about it. And the speaker and the listener both have familiarity with this. Or for jins, a general concept. And jins is usually, for example, when it's an abstract item, sabr, as-sabr. Because obviously you don't have one sabr, do you? So it's general, as-sabr, al-ilm. Okay? Now istighraq is not too common. It means to include every single. If they say three, is more detailed, inshallah, with this balagah when we move on. But you got the rough idea that alif lam can have different meanings. That's why you get tamam ta'rif Allah ke liye. Yeah, all praise are for Allah. Because they translated alif lam as istighraq. Okay? Moving on, nakira. When do you use nakira? When it's unknown. So for example, وَجَاءَ رَجُلٌ مِّنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ يَسْعَى. Like a person came. So we don't know about it the first time it's mentioned. So use nakira. If I say for example, ja'a. Ja'a. Come in the Quran somewhere. Surah Yusuf. وَجَاءَ سَيَّارَةٌ. A caravan came. So it's unknown, it's not mentioned, we don't know about it, speakers don't know about it, speakers know about it, listeners don't know about it. If I say for example, I saw a book today. So I know about the book, you don't know about it. So I mentioned nakira. It's common. Sometimes you may know about it, but you want to conceal it. You want to keep nakira just for concealing. هل أدلكم على أهل بيت يكفلونه لكم. So when Musa's mother put Musa in the river, then obviously ended up where? At the palace of Fir'aun. And now the child, Musa ﷺ refused that the baby, he wasn't drinking from any person, any of the ladies. So the sister went and said, هل أدلكم على أهل بيت. She said nakira. He said, هل أدلكم على أمي يا على أهل بيتي. What did he say? Nakira. It's a family I know. She kept it vague. Why? Because he said it's my family. It's like, why are you so sure your family will be the right woman to feed Musa or feed this baby? Do you understand? You get what I'm saying? So, هل أدلكم على أهل بيت. She kept nakira to keep it vague so she could conceal her identity. Another, keep it unrestricted. You don't want to say, if I say for example, get me a exercise book. When I kept it nakira, any exercise book will do. Get me a pen. What does that mean? Unrestricted. Now what? Any pen would do the job. You understand? So the brothers of Yusuf said, "Itrahuhu ardan." Throw him in some land. Just throw him away somewhere. It doesn't have to be anywhere. It doesn't matter where. Just throw him away somewhere, so he's out of our sight. Do you understand? Another example here of tanween. Now this is very delicate because what happens now is that sometimes the tanween can show a meaning of takthir. Kathara, yukathiru, takthir means to make it show variety. For example, وَلَقَدْ كُذِّبَتْ رُسُلٌ مِّن قَبْلِكَ. وَلَقَدْ كُذِّبَتْ رُسُلٌ مِّن قَبْلِكَ. So rusulun here means many. Do you understand? Yeah? Okay. So كُذِّبَتْ رُسُلٌ مِّن قَبْلِكَ. So it's translated as what? Many messengers. And where does that many come from? Because tanween can give that meaning, but all is in context. You can't just make this up. When you see it happening somewhere, you can say, okay, this is tanween. It's for takthir. Do you understand? Okay? Now as an example, it can give the meaning of ta'zim, a great. Because Allah is saying, look, those who don't abstain from usury and abusing their power and abusing their wealth and take advantage of the poor, فَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا. If they don't stop giving up, if they don't give up interest, they don't give up usury and abusing their power and take advantage of the poor, فَأْذَنُونَ. Listen to a declaration of a war. It's like a small war or a big war?
So these are all madhkur.
It's a punishment, isn't it? Allah saying, look, then listen very carefully. Allah will announce a war against you.
What slot is next?
فَأَذَنُوا بِحَرْبٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ.
So what are you going to pray here?
Do you understand? You get it?
Al-ma'a. What would you pray here?
And again, the context will tell us.
Adam.
It can also be to show taqleel, opposite meaning.
Ban.
For example, Allah says, إِنَّمَا هَذِهِ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا. Indeed, هَذِهِ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيا is مَتَاع. This dunya is what?
Are we praying these Arabs now?
Yeah, a momentary benefit, a small benefit. Where are you getting small from? The tanween gives that meaning. So one tanween gives the meaning of ta'zeem, a great war. And one gives the meaning of small. Where do you get this from? Context. But the tanween, the Arabs have used this tanween, used this nakira in this meaning to show ta'zeem, or to show tahqir, or to show takthir. And all of this can be understood from context. Do you understand? Make sense?
Allah created that.
For alif lam? Nakira. Takthir, kathara yukathiru takthir, to show a lot. Azzama yu'azzimu ta'zeem, to show that it's great. Haqqara yuhaqqiru tahqir, to show it's insignificant. And it's only a list of a few of them. There are more things as well. And that's why you see where the translators are adding in things like this. So where are they getting it from? From the tanween. They're getting all praise from the alif lam in the meaning of alif lam. So all of these small delicacies are coming out without being explicit in the words. But the alif lam, the tanween are showing these meanings. Do you understand? Any questions? So we finished ma'rifah, finished nakira. So discussion number 4 is finished. So we discussed the parts of a sentence, which is going to be what? Musnad ilayh, musnad, qaid. Types of sentences is khabariya, insha'iyya, khabariya, thubut, huduth, tajaddud, then insha'iyya. Then after that we went to sentence order, and then we went through after that ma'rifah, nakira.